Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for educational purposes only. For legal and financial advice, please seek help from a licensed professional. Thank you. Today's show is also sponsored by IAR Property Solutions. If you're looking to sell, buy, or renovate your property, IAR will be by your side through the merry real estate ride. Welcome to the Humble Hustle Podcast. My name is Antoine Basquiat, and I will be your host for today's episode. Segment 1, Where Are They Now? Excited to get into a deep dive conversation of how to start a business. So let's just get into it. Josh, this going might be a little bit complicated with two Joshes, but Josh Bailey, Josh B. let me ask you this. Can you just tell me a little bit more about your business? I want you guys just to kind of give a summary of your business. Just give the audience a little bit more information.
Yeah, so pretty much I was doing full house renovations and restoration work and decided to take it out on my own and kind of dive into doing the same type of thing and, finding customers who really need something done to their home and making sure we do a real good job. And there's a lot of people out there to get burned by bad contractors, and it's nice to get out there and take care of them and do some good work.
Okay, sounds good. Always great to help people, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
See a need, fill a need. So, Josh Sanders, same question.
As Antoine stated in the beginning, I've been an athletic trainer for the past 4 or 5 years now. I took a job with the UFL, which only runs for 4 months out of the year. So the other 8 months, I was like, let's offer my services to the public, help general population and not just the athletes. So I decided to build a school bus so I can be mobile about it too. I go to people's houses, I drive the school bus to parks, the beach, and I just kind of hang out and allow people to come see what I have to offer. So inside, I do cupping, massage, I do dry needling. I do have the ability to do a whole strength regime, a rehab regime. So I have dumbbells, bench press, all of it. So like you said, it helps to help people. I enjoy helping people. So if you want to get healthy, whether it be from a strength aspect, the nutrition aspect, or you just want to become pain free, I'm your guy.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And hey, you can't beat being able to pull up to a beach and calling it a work day. That's amazing, right? All right. Well, for Josh Bailey, what has been your favorite project so far? What is one of those projects that kind of just stood out to you throughout your career?
Yeah, so I would say one of the last projects I did, I was able to take a building that a guy wanted to always have a nice real workshop for him to do all his woodworking stuff and kind of just bring that to a closure and get that all done for him and really close everything in and set some lights up and get some heating and air conditioning in there so he could actually go out and enjoy it in any weather and do the woodworking he liked now that he was retired. So, and as a fellow woodworker, I definitely appreciate the size of the shop that we built him, and it was great to bring that vision alive for him.
Yeah, I remember going and looking at that place with you, man, and
yeah,
he had a house behind his house.
yeah,
Essentially.
it was a big project. Yeah, that's
it was
right.
quite impressive, and most definitely the photos, and we'll be sure to share those photos later on at the end when we start posting this up everywhere. But that work is high quality, 2-story workshop this guy had, and it looks like he could live in it. He could charge rent. He could most definitely charge rent.
Yeah.
So, Josh Sanders, same question. What was your favorite project so far? Taking the bus around.
The bus in itself was a project. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace, gutted it, and did everything myself. I might have to call my man Josh Bailey to come because recently I've been living in it to get rid of the cost of living. That's expensive, rent. So I got tired of paying rent, so now I live in it and work out of it. So I might have you come down and put some lights, some woodworks in there for me. But so that was an awesome project. But I'd say my favorite thing about my business is my ability to dry needle. I love dry needling. It's probably my passion. So going to people's houses, dry needling them, and seeing the results like immediately. Like some people like, is needle supposed to work this fast? And it does sometimes. So I would say between the bus and dry needling, those are probably my two favorite aspects of my business.
Okay. And I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a moment and kind of hone in on what both of you guys were saying previously. And I think it's a really big, important part of starting a business, which is helping people, right? Everybody says if you see a need, fill a need. You can't start a business if you don't have anybody buying it, right? So I think it's really crucial when we have this conversation of starting a business that we point out the fact that both of you guys are not only providing a service, you are providing a service that helps people, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the service of helping people, are you when you're looking for your customers, when you're looking for your target audience, are you going to them and asking, hey, these are the services I provide, do you need my help, or are you actively seeking out just anybody in general? Josh, D.
It's really a lot of it's just been word of mouth. People hear, you do good work, and they want to find out if you can take care of their projects, and that's just really kind of been what I've been focusing on is, not really going out there and asking who needs what, but more of a waiting for the opportunities to, present themselves from the word of mouth and doing good work every single time and just letting that good work flow, because it's a lot easier to get somebody to sign on board when you have heard from friends or family of theirs that you did right and you made it happen for them.
Well, I mean, I think today you already made a customer by word of mouth. Josh, Josh is
Yeah,
already
see.
hiring you, right?
Yeah,
So listen,
Antoine gets
Yeah,
that referral for sure.
there you go. You
yeah,
got me hooked. You got me
listen,
hooked.
I want that referral fee. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
But
So, yeah,
I'm a piggyback right off of him. I'm gonna say word of mouth has kind of been the biggest thing. So I
okay.
treat the athletes in the season, and then they come back home, they go to their gyms, and they're like, "Oh, I got a guy for you. Oh, I got a guy for you." And I just get referrals that way. Word of mouth has definitely been the biggest. And one thing I like to do, I noticed, I'll be walking around Home Depot and I see a 60, 70-year-old guy limping. I'm like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you walking like that?" I'll ask him. He'll be like, "I think I can help you. You want to?" And then they'll go from there and just talking to people in public, go in the gym, sitting in front of a gym, be like, "You need some recovery work after your workout?" And go and give him a business card, and it runs from there. So that,
Wow.
like you said, word of mouth has really been the biggest thing for me as of recently.
And listen, I know both of you guys very well, and I'll give it to both of you guys. You both have that ability to just walk up to anybody and start a conversation. I shake somebody's hand. Josh knows I'll forget that. I'll forget their name in 5 seconds before I even let go of their hand. I don't even remember. So for both of you guys to, I think that's really an important part to kind of key in on is you're helping people, you're providing a service, you're looking for that, you're having that conversation with the people to really understand where their needs are and how you can help them. So I think that word of mouth is really important. Hopefully you guys being on this podcast increases that word of mouth. So that's our goal here today, is also spread the word of how we're trying to help people. So with the well, actually, hey Aaron, I think I did see a question come in. We might as well take it since we're on the topic. What was that question, Aaron?
So the question that came in is, how did you get your first customers?
Okay, that's a good question. Would any one of you guys want to start? How did you gain your first customer?
Yeah, so actually I was doing a commercial job up in Raleigh, and one of the higher ups there, after we got pretty much done with the job, he said, "Man, you guys were, efficient, and everything looks really good. Uh, do you do anything by yourself?" And I said, "Well, I do." And at that time, I really had just thought about starting the business, and I was like, "Yep, I will. I'll go ahead and get that on the books for you." And then we, hurried up and got everything with the state. So it was just kind of a right place, right time, doing the right kind of work. And I did go to his house, and for him and his wife, we did a nice office addition into their attic space that was unused. So she was able to get a whole huge office with heating and everything away. So that was pretty cool. Just right place, right time.
Okay, that's awesome. And you
Yeah.
see, right here, right now, we're getting a live demonstration of what this man can do as an athletic trainer. That's the best word of mouth you can do right there. Listen, so thank you, Josh. No worries. Do your thing. We got a lot more questions to go, and we have another guest member. So no worries, man. That's perfect right there. You can't get a better advertising than that right there.
Yeah.
So kind of just piggybacking off of what you just said, Josh, right? You got this first customer. Now, the biggest thing I think in any business is, especially in the industry that you're in, when you're dealing with somebody's home, something that's so personal, I think it's difficult to rail them in as a customer. You need to gain their trust. You need to have them bring you into their home, which is a very personal space. And oftentimes, right, renovations can be costly. So not only are they trusting you with their personal space, but they're also trusting you with your checkbook, right? So I say all of that to say is, being in such an intimate profession, how did you gain the trust of that first customer?
Yeah, that is definitely a huge one. I can't even tell you how many people I run into that, they say, "Oh, you're a contractor." The last contractor I used, he, took 10,000, never showed back up, or, hey, we're still fighting with the lawyers. So there's a lot of bad contractors out there that really put a bad taste in people's mouth, and
Mm,
so it's really not that, I'm even starting from a neutral platform. We're always starting in the negative. They're always worried that that's going to happen with them. So, not knowing somebody and trying to start from that, it's definitely tough. But showing somebody what you've already done in an actual job site, that's always, helpful. So with that first one, that was nice because he met me every day. He saw me there at the job site with my crews, saw how I interacted with my crews, made sure they didn't have anything that they were stopping them from continuing to work so they could get the business back open. So he saw firsthand what I was doing. So I think that really let him know that I wasn't gonna take advantage of him on doing it in
okay.
his own house. Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that, right, you have that word of mouth, that's how you're getting the news around and things like that, but in order to gain trust from a potential client or potential customer, do you think, right, if they didn't see you coming into work every day
Mhm.
doing your work, firsthand experience, do you do anything else in terms of being able to show your customers what you've done in the past? Are you doing videos, taking pictures, websites, things like that?
Yeah, so we sit down and we go over, a bunch of pictures of jobs that I've done. I try not to just flood them with pictures of everything, but if they want me to do their bathroom, I say, hey, here's a bunch of pictures of, bathrooms that I've done recently, or same with kitchens, or the same thing with like that accessory building that we did. It was pretty similar to the attic office space that we did. So showing them not just, hey, I can do work, but hey, this is some of the items that I'm done recently that is geared towards what you're looking for. So you can kind of see, if you're looking for tile that are, we actually have tile guys. It's not just a painter who's doing tile. You can actually see that there's quality people there doing quality work. And I think that definitely helps.
Okay. And right, so I think that's a very big point is, you're a lot of contractors, I think what they tend to have a tendency to do is not really think about the next job or the five jobs after that. They kind of think about, okay, I'm one and done. How I need to be in, I need to be out quick as fast as possible, because that's
Mhm.
really how you make more money, right? The quicker you're in, the quicker you're out. So you're really trying to build a reputation. You're really trying to build a brand, not only of trust, but also just of high quality craftsmanship. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you want. You don't want to just, have somebody say, "Oh yeah, he came in, knocked it out real quick, and then, 3 months later I started having some issues." You
Hmm.
want somebody to say, "Hey, this guy did something for me 2 years ago and I have had zero problems. He took his time, he got everything thoroughly done, he documented the process. He asked me questions in the middle of it, said, "Hey, here's a couple options, we can go this way or this way." Just kind of being, personable with the people. It really helps out.
Okay. Yeah, and going back to the high quality people, how are you handling those contractors? How are you finding those guys? What kind of tidbits do you really look for when you're looking for a subcontractor?
Yeah, so that is definitely a huge one. There's a plethora of subcontractors out there that'll do the same thing as the next one. And the subs that I work with day in and day out, I've worked with them for years and years. I know everybody on the crew. We get lunch together, and just really building that repertoire. And they know that, hey, I'm treating them with respect. I'm taking care of them, but at the same time, if the job that they're doing isn't met to the standards that we're going for, that they're going to have to be held accountable for that. And finding those guys who it just they go above and beyond every single time. It's wonderful. So like my exterior guy, I've had him. I think the third month I moved down to North Carolina, it was the first crew that I had worked with, and I have worked with him ever since. And it's wonderful. They're a great group of guys, and I never have to worry. They put a roof on and I can sleep at night. It's a great feeling. It really is.
Yeah. And again, I feel like this might be a reoccurring theme is the trust aspect. Not only do you have to make sure your clients trust you, but you also have to make sure your subcontractors trust you and you
Yeah.
trust them. Right. So I think that's really cool that you're building up that relationship, because I think that's the name of the game, right? That's the name
Oh,
of
most
business, is
definitely.
relationships.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all about relationships. You treat your guys great, they're going to take care of you, and they're going to do the right thing, and you don't have to worry about them covering up stuff and cutting
Mm-hmm.
corners, because they know that I'm looking at it. I'm going to find it. I'm on the job sites and checking out, making sure that the quality's there, and they know that the customer's watching too, and the customer's going to let me know if they see something they don't like. So just over time, building the relationship, you find some good ones, you find some bad ones, and you keep the good ones and you keep them busy, and it works out wonderfully.
Exactly. Yeah. Just when I think about exactly what you're saying, I think it's important to kind of point out that it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a constant adapting and changing. Like you said, you exactly said that exact thing. Sometimes people don't work out, sometimes they do.
Yep.
Then you just find a way to change. So I think
Yeah.
that's really cool, because in any industry, especially in yours, is things are going to change. That's always going to be the constant. And you only have two options. You can either bend or you can either break.
Yeah.
So being able to bend is key.
Especially in the construction industry.
Mm-hmm.
Very few times do you get a job that runs perfectly from start to finish. No issues, no material delays, no broken material coming in, no subs getting sick. Very rare. So just being able to adapt to that, and each one of these guys have their own personal lives that they're going through, and family issues and things come up. So expecting them to just be machines that run through with no stops or issues, it's unrealistic. So just knowing that they're human and they're going through life too, and just kind of flowing as we go.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I could find one wall in my house that's straight all the way through, but it's still standing strong, baby. It's still standing strong, so I can't complain.
I did not build Antoine's house. So
No, you did not. No, you did not. Might have to call you to straighten some, but no, it's all good. Aaron, I think I saw some more questions come in. Which one?
Let's start with reflecting on your journey so far. What are you most proud of accomplishing with your business?
That's a good one.
I would say just really getting started. Ever since I really got into construction and figuring out how all this stuff works, I started in the commercial and got into residential, and just taking that leap of faith and jumping in and saying, hey, we're going to do this on my own. There's no big business behind me that's going to catch me if I fall. It's me, myself, and I, and we're going to do it. So that's really been the biggest thing.
Well, that actually, there's a great follow-up question to that, which is, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned along the way that you wish you knew if you were to start over again?
That's a tough one. There's a lot. I would have loved to have done this earlier. Started the whole business journey myself earlier, but I think that every step I took before I actually went and did it really helped me out. Coming from a fully commercial background before I moved down here to jumping in, learning more and more about the residential industry, and then going from roofing, siding, windows, and doors into like a restoration reconstruction. It definitely opened up a lot more knowledge for me, and I don't think not taking those steps would have benefited me. So I think that was really good for my journey.
What? So I kind of want to piggyback on that a little bit because hindsight is always 2020, and I always like to think that I wouldn't be where I am, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go through whatever I've gone through before, right? So are you do you think you would be where you are with your business if you didn't go through your previous experiences?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't have done it, but I definitely would not be where I'm at now.
Mm,
Every part of the journey, every job that went wrong that we had to figure out, and every hey, this company isn't for me anymore. We're gonna go take on this new adventure over here. It definitely helped shape what I'm doing now, because if I would have started this 6 years ago, I don't think it would have been anywhere close to the plethora of knowledge that I've learned in these past 6 years. It's really been great to hone in on this residential style work, and um, yeah, I think that's
yeah, I think I think really when you're looking back at everything that you're doing, do you think that it I guess what I'm trying to ask, right, is you're working towards this place you want to be and all the experiences that you have before. I think it's not a matter of if you're going to have an issue, it's more of a matter of when you're going to have an issue.
most
And
definitely.
I don't think that anybody here is just going to win every single time, right?
Yeah.
So when you have failed, do you think that you've learned more from your failures as opposed to your successes?
Oh, most definitely. Every time you go into a job and you have to redo something, or you fail an inspection, and those are always things that next time you will be looking out for. And it just gives you so much more perspective of, all right, well, if I'm doing this type of job, I need to look out for these 10 things, where before it was like, hey, I'm just going to go do a bathroom. It's like,
Mm,
well, the last bathroom we had, these things, we still got it to the finish line, but it cost us more money. It took longer. We didn't really have that solid, smooth workflow. So, you definitely learn more from your mistakes, and I make them every day. So some are costlier than others, and, we try to keep them on the cheap end, and just get through it.
yeah, and I think that a lot of people can really do anything. That's my personal belief. I think anybody can do anything that they really do focus on and put all their energy and effort to. But that's impossible, right? Like nobody can be an athletic trainer and also be a contractor and also be a software developer, make a podcast. It's insane, right? Like you cannot be the expert at everything. I think it was you, Josh, right? I think you told me once that and you correct me if I'm wrong, but a master of many is a master of none. And I was like, what fortune cookie did this man open? I was like, what? Whoa, put that on a bumper sticker, post it on my wall. That's just a great piece of advice. And I think everything that you're saying, right? The failures, the successes, all of things that you've experienced, I think that leads up to why people will hire you, right? That is, people are not paying you because you can do the job. They're paying you because you know what needs to be done. They're paying you because of the experience you have. So when you see these job postings, you're like, this is an entry level job. There's a reason, right? They're hiring you because it sounds like, based on what we're talking about, they're hiring you because not only do they trust you, you're providing a service to help these people, but more importantly, maybe even more crucial, the experience that you're bringing to the table is going to be far none, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, right? Residential compared to commercial, completely two different spaces when you're talking about the field of construction, right?
Oh, most definitely. Oh, yeah.
So you're bringing your commercial background and knowledge into a residential space, which is probably, I would say, probably a lot more stringent upon what's required, what the types of things you need to go through. So you're bringing in all this experience, not only from a residential side, but a commercial side that'll help.
Yeah, I mean, it is two different beasts, and I like the way that I, happened to do it, where I started in the commercial and then get into residential. And, I ran across a bunch of people who were like, I could never build a whole apartment complex. It was like, it's just too overwhelming. And it's like, well, you only have to focus on that wall. And then when you're done with that, we'll just go to the next wall. So breaking it up, and looking at it like that, I think if I came from the residential, went into the commercial, it definitely would have, had that same viewpoint. So being able to, take something that's massive as $1 million project and just boiling it down to, that's just a couple walls, just start here and just keep on going. I like the way I did it. It wasn't intentional, but it worked out.
One step at a time. It's supposed to happen that way, it's meant to be. Well, we're getting close to the time of the end of this segment, but I see Josh Sanders is back. Hey, how was that, man? I was telling the people that you're giving us a live demo here, so I think that was pretty good. It was a nice little break.
No, she played 2 matches today. She got another match stretching, a little treatment after her matches, so I took care of her real quick. But she's from somewhere in Europe. This tennis tournament has people from people don't even speak English. People from Czech Republic, you're everywhere. I'm like, okay, what you need?
Wow.
Show me.
That you see.
So yeah.
Out here in North Carolina, I don't know if it's a thing in Florida too, but the big thing here is pickleball, and I could barely play table tennis, so I can't even imagine tennis right now. So that's pretty cool. It's all day tournament.
All day. No, matter of fact, it's been going since Monday. So they've been playing. They on games like 20, 21 in the past like 5-6 days. I'm like, y'all
That's
different.
crazy. When we started, it was daytime behind you.
Right. And look, they got the lights on and everything. This is my last match right here. So
Okay. Well, like I said, we were just kind of chopping it up with Josh Bailey on a couple of things that where are they now, right? Part of the segment, kind of just figuring out some background information on how the journey has come to this point. And our next segment, which is what does it take to start a business? And I'll go ahead and throw that first question to you, Josh Sanders, is
from doorstep to front lawn to light.